friends, in the last class we have seen that India has many school of painting, but besides that India also has many regional style of painting which talks about the regional specificity. India has 29 states and 7 union territories. Each of this has its own cultural identity and traditional traditions of its own. And by looking at the art forms, you can see what are the traditions of this region. Each painting of this region has its own motive, own style, own patterns. So, you get a distinct flavor of each region by looking at this folk paintings. So, let us see what are the folk paintings of India. So, I have listed 20 folk paintings, but this is not an exhaustive list. There are many more than this, but let us discuss some of them. Madhubani is one style of painting that is prevalent in the Madhubani district of Bihar and in some part of Nepal. Varli is a form of painting that is found in Maharashtra. Gond is found in central India. Bhil is also found in central India. Pattachitra is found in West Bengal and Orissa. Patwa is found in West Bengal. Pichwai is also one form of painting that is found in Rajasthan. Chittara is from Karnataka. Ganjifa is also from Karnataka. Furt painting is from Rajasthan. Sohrai is from the tribal belt of central India. Kalamkari is from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Kalighat painting is from West Bengal. Sherial is from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana again. Pithora is from Gujarat. Ganjifa is from again Ganjifa is repeated. Ganjifa is also from art from Karnataka. Saura is from the tribal belt in central India. Kurumba is from South India. Meena art is from Rajasthan and Kolam is found in various form in different locations in India. So, let us discuss some of this art form in details. First, let us discuss Madhubani. So, Madhubani, as I told you, is an art form that is prevalent in the Madhubani district of Bihar and in some part of Nepal. So, Madhubani is actually an art form that is prevalent among the people who speak the Maithili language, and these people are found in the Madhubani district of Bihar and in some part of Nepal. So, this art is found in both the countries, India and Nepal. Characteristics of Madhubani art: they are either flow paintings, that is Aripana, or wall murals, that is Kobar, done during festival and important occasion. Primarily a women's art and a spiritual practice, passed on from generations after generations by observation and learning. So, this is not formally taught, it is observed and learned. Mythological events, creations and fertility, social activity, festivities, geometrical patterns and natural elements are the central themes. Natural color from rice powder, flowers, stone, soil, etc. are used to draw with twigs, fingers or matchsticks. The painting was, however, only a domestic ritual and was unknown to the outside world until the massive earthquake of Bihar that happened in 1934. So, Madhubani is related to, the history of Madhubani is closely related to two natural disasters. One is the 1934 massive earthquake and one is the 1962 great famine. So, what happened was that until this time the art form was only done by the women folks within the four walls of the house, and when the earthquake happened, the colonial ruler of that area, William G. Archer, he was going around the places and he saw this beautiful artwork in the walls, broken walls of the households. This gave him an idea that this art is should be introduced to the world outside. So, he was one of the, William G. Archer was one of the pioneer person who had taken effort to make this art known to the world. Then came the 1962 great famine. At this time the cultural activist Pupul Jayakar, he asked the women of this village to draw the paintings in clothes and in paper, so that they can be sold commercially and some sustenance can be generated for the women. So, these are the two natural disasters that helped Madhubani art come out from the four walls of house and introduce them to the outside world. So, as I told you, William G. Archer, he took great interest in the Madhubani art that he found in the broken walls of the house after the earthquake, and after that in 1949 he published an article talking about the beautiful, the aesthetic qualities of Madhubani art, and he published an article in Mark, which is an Indian journal, in 1949, and this was the first time when this art form came out to the world and it was known to the world. So, to talk about the history of Madhubani, it is said that King Janaka had asked the women folk of his kingdom to draw the scenes of Sita's marriage to Ram on the walls, and from that day onwards, from that incident onwards, Madhubani art is been practiced. So, people think that it is very, very old, around 2500 old art form, when King Janaka had asked the women to draw the scenes of Sita's marriage on the wall. So, this was when it started. So, there are different styles of Madhubani. One is Bharni, Kachni, Geru and Godna. Bharni is this style where the colors are filled in the painting. So, there is very little empty space and the colors are like totally filled in the entire painting. This is practiced by the upper caste women of Madhubani. Then come Kachni, this is also practiced by the upper caste women. Here the colors are subdued, only one or two colors are used, and mostly it is known for its line, the patterns, the lines they used. Observe the lines, they had used diagonal and vertical lines. Then is the Geru, this is thought to be practiced by the women from the lower echelons of the society. So, then the uniqueness of this painting is that it is first it is minimalistic, and how the women first do is this, that they cover the surface of the the material that is to be painted with cow dung first, then over that they do the painting. So, this is Geru painting, Geru Madhubani painting. This is Godna, this is a style that has a lot of similarity with the tattoo art or body art motif have been adapted into painting. Religious symbols, especially those with talismanic powers, geometrical designs, natural motifs and are symbols like the swastika are popular in this form of painting. So, we will see very repeated kind of patterns in this form of Madhubani painting. The motifs are repeated again and again. So, repeatedness is the characteristics of the painting. And let us go to the second art form that we would discuss today, that is Varli. Varli is an art form that is practiced by the Varli tribe of Maharashtra. They reside in the Gujarat Maharashtra border. So, here so they would reside somewhere in this area. So, this is a very beautiful Varli art which is done on the walls of houses. So, these are the characteristics of a Varli art, that Varli art use basic geometrical shapes for depicting symbols of life and the world around. Three basic shapes commonly used are the circle, the triangle and the square. It is said that the circles and the square are adapted in this painting by looking at the the environment, the world around. The circle and the circle comes from the sun and the moon. The triangle comes from the pointed trees and mountains, whereas the square is it is taken from it is a human addition. It is like it gives a feeling of space, enclosed space. In rare cases, the paintings are composed of straight lines, mostly occurs in form of dots and dashes. So, straight lines are rare, it is mostly geometrical patterns, a triangle, circle or the square. There is absence of mythological or religious figures. This is important because in most of the art forms you find they talk about mythological characters or religious characters, but here it is there is absence of any of them. They generally talk about the day to day life. The theme of early art encompasses social life, nature, death, birth and fertility. A common depiction involves circular pattern without any beginning or an end, possibly hinting at eternal life after death. So, this could be one reason why so much of circular patterns are there, because the Worli tribe believes that there is life after death and it is continuous. Originally these paintings were made on walls of the huts of the tribal people. So, it was originally supposed to be made in the walls, but now you find them in various articles from paper to canvas to clothes. It was the women who made the paintings, like the Madhubani art. It was actually the women who have taken this, who used to make this painting, but now both in Madhubani and Worli it is the men folks who also contribute, who also participate. They use white paints prepared from rice powder. These paints were made with sticky, these paints were made sticky by adding a natural binder. Bamboo sticks were used as brushes. The paint was applied on walls that were made of red, brown and ochre mud. The Worlis are indigenous tribe of or Adivasi living in mountainous as well as coastal areas of Maharashtra and Gujarat border and surrounding areas, as I told you. They have their own animistic belief. So, these beliefs are demonstrated in the paintings, customs and traditions. As a result of acculturation, they have also adopted some of the Hindu beliefs. So, let us see some of the Worli paintings. So, this is one wedding scene. Wedding scene is very popular among the Worli paintings, because this is supposed to be an auspicious, this painting is supposed to be done in auspicious occasion like weddings. So, you would see most of the paintings depict happy occasions like the wedding scene. Please note the bride and the bridegroom and the people dancing and merry making, and here in the center is the goddess. This is a village scene where a day to day activity of a village is shown. People are doing their day to day activity. There is a lot of flora and fauna around. This is a harvest scene. Again, harvest is a happy occasion where there is people have lot of food in their homes. So, harvest is also a popular scene in Worli paintings. Now, let us go to the third art form, that is the Gond. The Gond art form is practiced by the Gond community who reside in Madhya Pradesh, in central India mostly, in Madhya Pradesh, in Jharkhand, then in some parts of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. The Gonds are traditionally agriculturists and some practice shifting cultivation even today. Other major activities of Gond include collecting forest products, fishing, hunting, forging metal goods in cottage industry and other primary sector occupation. So, this is that you will find the Gond community residing in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Maharashtra also. So, this is the central area, central India, you will find the Gond community, and so the Gond art form is also practiced in this area. The history of the Gond community dates back to nearly 1400 years ago. It is believed that the Gond people could just be imitating their ancestors, as there are cave paintings in the region that go all the way back to the Mesolithic period. So, people believe that the Gond community is just imitating the art form of the ancestors. So, the ancestors could probably be living during the Mesolithic period. So, and the practice of doing art is quite old among this community. The Gond believe that weaving a good image begets good luck. This belief led them to decorate the walls as well as the floor of the houses with traditional tattoos and motifs. So, this is a belief that if you look at a good image, it will bring you good luck. So, that is a primary belief that the Goan community has. So, that is one inspiration for them to do this art. According to the Goan belief system, each and everything, whether it is hill, river, rock or a tree, is inhabited by a spirit and consequently is sacred. So, they paint them as a form of respect and reverence. Goan paintings are a reflection of humans' close connection with their natural surrounding. So, they believe that the Goan community believe that everything has a spirit and everything is sacred. So, when they draw this form, they are actually paying respect to the rivers, water, mountains, etc. Goan paintings are described as online work. So, it has a lot of line works, that is why it is called it is also called online work. The artists draw the inner as well as outer lines with as much care as possible. Lines are used in such a way that it conveys a sense of movement to the still image. Dots and dashes are added to impart a greater sense of movement and increase the amount of details. So, we will see in sometimes some of the images which the dots and dashes are used, so that the still image looks like it is moving. So, this is a technique of Goan art. Goan paintings Goan paintings use bright vivid colors such as white, red, blue and yellow. The paintings are usually derived naturally from the objects such as charcoal, colored soil, plant sap, leaves and even cow dung. So, as most of the folk paintings, even in Goan painting, the material is derived from everything around them, everything is natural. More specifically, yellow from chui mitti, this is a kind of local sand which is yellow. Brown from gheru mitti, which is another type of sand. Green is readily procured from leaves, while the color red is obtained from the hibiscus flower. Goan paintings bear a remarkable likeness to Aboriginal art from Australia, as both styles use dots and to create the painting. So, there have been a lot of similarity that has been noted in Goan painting as the Aboriginal art from Australia. So, these are some of the Goan painting, which as we saw that the Goan painting use a lot of lines and sometimes dots and dashes. So, you see how lines are used in various forms in this painting. So, this is another one. This is a tree of life in Goan painting. A tree of life is very important symbol in Goan art, and they believe that everything is derived from the tree is the source of life of everything. This is a fauna depicted in Goan art. You see the use of lines here, as they said that the lines and dashes are used in such a fashion that it looks like that object is moving. That gives you a sense of movement and it is not static. Now, let us go to Pattachitra. Pattachitra is practiced in West Bengal and Orissa, though in they are different in forms, but today we will discuss about Orissa Pattachitra. Pattachitra is based on Hindu mythology and especially inspired by Jagannath and Vaishnava sect. They resemble the old murals of Orissa, especially religious centers of Puri, Konark and Bhubaneswar region dating back to the 5th century BC. So, as some of you might be knowing, the Puri, Konark, Bhubaneswar has a lot of old paintings that are supposed to be from very centuries old, from 5th century BC, and the Pattachitra are supposed to be have lot of similarities with this kind of mural art. The paintings of Orissa can be divided into 3 categories based on the medium: paintings on cloth or Pattachitra, paintings on wall or Bhitti Chitra, and palm leaf engravings on the Tala Chitra or Poti. So, based on the medium that the paintings is done, the Pattachitra is divided into 3, that is on cloth it is called Pattachitra, if it is on wall it is called Bhitti Chitra, if it is on palm leaf it is called Talapatra Chitra or Poti Chitra. Some popular themes are the Thia Badhiya depiction of the temple of Jagannath. These are some popular theme that you will see in most of the Pattachitra painting. Krishna Leela, enchantment of Jagannath as Lord Krishna displaying his powers as a child. Dashavatara the 10 incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Panchamukhi, depiction of Lord Ganesha as a 5-headed deity. Making the Patachitra is the first thing that comes in the agenda, and a painter also called the Chitraka. The people who make these paintings are called Chitrakars. Go about their work in preparing a tamarind paste. So, this is how it is done. The first make a tamarind paste, which is made by soaking tamarind seeded water for 3 days. The seeds are rather pounded with a crusher, mixed with water and heated in an earthen pot to turn it to a paste, which is called Niryas Kalpa. The paste is then used to hold 2 pieces of cloth together in it with coated with the powder of soft clay stone a couple of times till it becomes firm. Soon as the cloth becomes dry, the final touch of polishing it with a rough stone and then a smooth stone or wood is given until the surface becomes smooth and leathery and is all ready as a canvas to be painted on. Preparing the paints is perhaps the most important part of creation in Patachitra. Engaging the craftsmanship of the Chitrakars is using natural available raw material. So, the naturally found raw materials are used as paints, like in most of the paintings, folk paintings. The gum of the kaitha tree is the chief ingredient and is used as a base for making different pigments, on which diverse raw material are mixed for diverse colors. Powdered conch shells, for instance, are used for making a white pigment, while lamb soot is used for a black pigment. The root of the kea plant is used for making the common brush, while mouse hair is used for the requirements of finer brush to be attached to a wooden handle. So, you see that the making of these paintings are very complicated and very tedious, and the creating the surface itself take many days. So, these are very intricate designs and which takes a lot of effort from the part of the Chitrakars who are doing the painting. So, you can see different variations, different themes in this painting. Some of the Jagannath paintings, Vaishnava paintings, Shaiva paintings, Shakta paintings, paintings of legends and folklore, Raga Chitras, Bandha Chitras, Yamapati and Yatripatas, Ganjappa playing card paintings and other social themes. So, these are the different themes that you will see while you are looking at Patachitra of Orissa. So, now let us look at some of the Patachitra from Orissa. This is a image where you see the Chitrakars making the the Patachitra. Usually it's a huge surface. So, usually 1 or 2 people would do the painting, and one of the specificity of Patachitra is its beautiful borders. The borders are very intricate and very elaborately done. This is a Patachitra on cloth, as we saw that there are different kinds of material that are used. So, this is on cloth, this is on the walls, this is on palm palm leaf. So, this is depiction of Jagannath in the Patachitra painting. Jagannath, as you know, is a very important deity of Orissa. So, these are some of the depiction of characters in Patachitra painting. In the typical style of Patachitra, the faces of characters have long beak like noses, as you see in this painting, prominent chins and elongated eyes. They are distinguished from each other by facial features, hairstyle, clothing, etc. Central focus of the painting is the expression of the figures and the emotions they portray. The strong color only reinforces them. So, it is like so colors are used for reinforcing them, but mostly the emotions depict the characters. One of the most distinct feature of Patha is the variety of ornate borders that are used to give a frame like appearance. So, as I told you in the beginning in one of this, so this borders are very important. They make the frame of the painting. The traditional borders are derived from the temple sculptures, motifs of Orissa. One of the most popular border design is that of two entwined snakes, which can also be seen in the doorways of Konark temple. So, it has some similarities with the Konark temple artworks. Now, let us go to another art form of Orissa, that is Saura. Again, this is another art form from Orissa. Sauras are among the most ancient of tribes in India and find mention in the Hindu epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata. It is said that Savari, who was a devotee of Lord Rama in Ramayana, was from the Saura tribe, and Zara, the hunter who had killed Krishna, was also from this tribe. It is said that the body of Zara was flowed into the sea near Puri as a wooden log, and the idol of Jagannath at Puri is believed to have been sculpted from this piece of wood, the body of Zara. Saura paintings are an integral part of religious ceremonies of the Saura tribal. So, these paintings have a lot of religious importance. The Saura wall paintings are called Italons or icons and are dedicated to the Itidal, also called Idital, the main deity of the Saura. So, this as I told you, the Saura paintings have a lot of religious value and it is dedicated to their deity. Saura paintings draw upon tribal folklore and have ritualistic importance. Recurring motifs in these paintings are the tree of life, animals like horses, elephants, elements of nature like the sun and the moon, and the people of the tribe. The paintings are steeped in symbolism and meaning. It is with this image and their interpretation that the Saura community hold on to their culture and tradition. The Saura language has no script. The painting enable them to depict and record their worldview, their history, philosophy and religious practice. So, in the absence of a written script, this is the images help them to record their history and to have a connection with the past. Given the religious significance of this painting for the tribe, these are worshipped during religious and special cultural occasions such as harvest, childbirth, marriage or even the construction of a new house. So, like most of the paintings, folk paintings of India, the Saura painting is also done in auspicious occasion and has lot of values for the community. Within a new dwelling, these paintings are created in a dark corner inside the home, and the process of creating them is accompanied by the recital of prayers. So, it is a very elaborate procedure of doing this painting. There is a recital of prayers along with the painting, and it is usually done in corner of the house, so as that corner is energized with positive energy. Saura paintings employ a fishnet approach, that is where the border is created first the border is created and then the motifs close inwards. So, this technique is called fishnet approach, where the border is first created and the inside things are filled later. So, this is one Saura painting. It is in the house, and this is typically how a Saura community would do decorate their house in their door frame, in the walls. This is another depiction, pay attention to the intricacies and in the small details of the painting. This is another one. This depicts the tree of life, which is a very important motif in Saura painting, and it also depicts the village life around it. So, friends, today we have seen 5 folk paintings. In the next class, let us discuss 5 more and see what is the similarity and difference between them. After this, we will learn to do some of the techniques of this folk paintings, and after that we will explore our own thoughts. Thank you for today.